Welcome back, folks, to episode 7 of Drift Allstars TV. We're on the Kaunas Street Circuit in Lithuania. The question is, who will be the 2014 Extreme Drift Allstars European Series champion? With the last 5 rounds being won by 5 different winners, this has been the most competitive championship to date. Polish Budmat team drivers Piotrek Więcek and Dawid Karkoszek have been on James's heels all season long. But the true fight is between Piotrek and James. James Dean leads the standings by a slender 40 points. With 4 drivers able to claim the championship today, it's anyone's game. Welcome to the finals at the Lithuanian Drift GP.
The overall championship this year, it's been a great season, but I hope I can hold on to #1 spot. The guys from Poland will definitely be pushing me to the limit, but it all depends. You can ask me tomorrow night and I'll tell you who won. So I hope it's me.
The 2014 championship chase has come down to the wire with so many upsets and so many different surprise winners. This will go down as the closest championship to date. The story has unfolded over 5 events with 5 different event winners. The finals are here now, and today we will find out who will be the 2014 champion. Now let's jump on board with Harold Valdma, the Estonian Express, as he takes us for a tour around the Kaunas Street Circuit. Harold is on cloud 9 after he took 2nd in his home event at the Estonian Drift GP. He's a very motivated young driver with a very professional BMW under his control. As he rolls out of turn 1, he accelerates hard and grabs the e-brake, initiating the drift and running a wide line against the wall. He then transitions across the huge 8-lane wide road and runs close to an outside clipping zone. Turn 3, he aims for a front clipping zone and actually upshifts a gear, hitting the top speed of the course. He runs a wide, fast line and then aims and transitions into turn 4. He runs an outside line to the wall, and then he needs to scrub off all his speed and momentum before he exits the last Exedi bend. And that's a lap of the Kaunas Street Circuit for the Lithuanian Drift GP. Welcome to the streets of Kaunas, the ultimate drift experience. Let's go and catch up with the drivers and find out what their thoughts are on this unique custom-built track in Lithuania. And who do they think will be the 2014 champion?
Check it. Feels so beautiful.
Lithuania, awesome sunshine, brilliant event, hard walls, a brilliant crowd, and drifting on the street. That's what it's all about.
Magic, the static from a dusty crate. Create a breath of fresh air when it feels like I'm a suffocate.
So far, I think to Latvia, there's a lot of similarities, and the track is awesome. Like, we're drifting on the streets and going across 8 lanes of traffic, so it's amazing to drive. Basically, my first run around the track was in the drift car sideways, so that was really exciting.
This track is a really cool track. We came here last year. It was completely new, and I think they've stepped it up a level this year. Yeah, it's the same track, but everything going on behind the scenes seems to have really improved. It's a great event now. Something so different. Normally, these are just normal streets with buses and cars and pedestrians and everything, and you know, to be able to close down that, and it's just adds something more. Yeah, definitely one of the probably the favourite event of this year so far.
No matter what they say, they can't say that I'm wrong.
The track's looking amazing. I haven't been out for any runs yet, but I'm looking forward to getting the seat and pushing at the finals.
Because I wrote a couple phrases on his pages with a pen.
We have 2 drivers in the top position in the general qualification in Drift Allstars. So we're really happy for this season. We set up our cars properly, and now we're just waiting for the end and to see the results.
It could be anyone. You know, James has a championship won. He's going to push hard all the way through. Doesn't necessarily mean he'll get into the final today, or you know, you don't know what'll happen. But the standard is so high here. You know, every battle, like top 16, top 8, top 4, all the way down to the final. You know you're going to have to push hard, and you know it's not going to be a walkover, and you really have to knuckle down and get stuck in. And it could be anyone up there. There's probably 10 guys that can win the event today, and it's definitely going to be an interesting afternoon.
With the sport growing so fast, so are the drivers' skills. And once again, everyone seems to have stepped it up another gear. Every driver seems to be trying to prove themselves before the end of the season.
I think that James didn't have a really good chance to do so. He has advantages in point, but definitely we'll do our best to get it out from him. And hopefully this round will make an opportunity for us to do so.
I think either Viensek or Karkoshik. I think they're the closest to me right now, and they'll definitely be pushing the hardest, and they're definitely ready for the competition this weekend. So yeah, I think it's definitely going to be one of the two of them, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Guess I ain't staying for long. I let my mind run free to the day that I'm gone. No matter what they say, they can't say that I'm wrong.
If the Budmak guys can keep their cars off the walls, I think it'll either be Peter Wojciech or David Karkoshik in the final. And looking at James and David having some battles earlier on in the season, it's going to be one to watch if that happens. But it's drifting and anything can happen, and I'm still fighting my way, and you'll see me on the podium maybe.
Qualifying again was a close affair. Jānis Eglete was keen to prove he could still win after his 3rd place finish in Estonia. Jānis won this event in 2013 and wants to end his season on a high, putting his Z-Tex tires, BMW, in 4th place in qualifying. He showed great speed, aggressive style, and of course an awesome smoke show. The Latvian beast will be a tough contender in the battles later on. Nigel Colford of Ireland has had a very up and down season and would want to make his mark after an early exit in the previous round in Estonia. Nigel was on a mission and would show awesome speed, really pushing his next-end tire, S13, to the absolute limit, taking 3rd place in qualifying. James Dean would have the pressure of a nation on his back, with many fans back home expecting him to win. He would show his maturity and put down a textbook run in qualifying. Dean gave a very exciting, action-packed run, proving he really wants nothing else than the championship. His run put him in second place in qualifying, helping his run to the championship. Piotr Więcek showed us his risk-all, fear-nothing style and laid it all down in qualifying. Screaming every last horsepower out of his Nissan R34, Więcek took first in qualifying yet again. That would give him 4 out of 6 top qualifying positions this year. Setting a new record, Piotr will be confident as James's rival for the championship.
I know today everything don't feel fair. So in the meantime,
the climax of the season is upon us at an event that was last year awarded Best Motorsport Event of the Year in the nation. A hard act to follow for the Drift All-Stars European Championship, but they are definitely up for the challenge. For the final this weekend, we're at the tricky Kaunas Street Circuit, where we'll see our 2014 European champion crowned. But with 5 different winners over 5 rounds, who knows what the outcome will be here in Lithuania.
What a great spectacle this event is in the streets of downtown Kaunas. On the Saturday evening of the event, all 40 cars on the grid got a chance to participate in a parade promoting the event on Sunday. What a superb way to expose the sport to the locals of Lithuania.
The most improved driver this year, probably Więcek in the Vodmak car. We watched him last year and he was good, but he's brought on another level this year.
For me, it's David Karkoshik. I think his battling has progressed so much over the winter and into this season, and just watching him battle against the likes of James Dean and people like that, he's so close and on it all the time. It's brilliant to watch.
She couldn't stand her own reflection. Damn, she was stone cold perfection, but she's trapped in a world with no direction. It's hard for these young girls, both feeling unsure of who they are and unsure of who they once were. We're superficial in this
the championship today, I guess James. He seems to be in good form there. We were chatting last night. We're good mates and just having a chat about it. And he seems in good spirit. He got through qualifying well yesterday. Sets him up for today, and he should. I can't see there being any problems with James taking the championship. But then again, this is drifting and the street course, and who knows what can happen. So it should be an interesting afternoon here.
The biggest challenge after practice on competition day was qualification. Qualification is used to rank the drivers, taking the highest 16 and ranking them in order into brackets for the tandem battles. In qualification, drivers are scrutinized by the judges in 4 separate categories: line, angle, speed, and style. The line is designated by the judges in briefing, giving the drivers rear zones to touch with the backs of the cars and front clipping points to get close to with their front bumpers. Angle is the second criteria, and that's what has to do with how sideways a car is. Cars are meant to stay as sideways as possible while staying smooth and not making corrections in their steering. Speed is the third focus. Judges expect the drivers to maintain the highest speed possible around the track. Style is the last point of interest to the judges and has to do with the impact and commitment of the drivers. With style, the true soul of the driver comes out and is seen by the spectators. Tandem battles are always the spectacle of a race weekend. In tandem battles, the lead driver is meant to do a perfect qualifying run, while the following car is meant to get as close to them as possible. Without affecting the lead car's run, the cars then switch positions, and then after 2 battles, the judges decide which driver was stronger over the 2 runs. If it's a tie, they go one more time. In the tandem battles, the winner of the competition will be decided. Today is the day all these drivers have been waiting for. We have some great battles, with Piotr Więcek against Jarmo Lut kicking off the top 16. Irish champion James Dean will again face off Harold Valdema, the 2014 Estonian champion. Opening ceremonies are one of the highlights of the event weekend, with all the top drivers getting introduced to the crowd. Piotr Więcek would battle Jarmo Lut. Więcek would lay down 2 very solid runs, and Jarmo would have no answer to the Polish driver, who's on a mission to gather as many points as possible for his championship.
I got Achilles on the wheels of steel. Now tell them how you really feel. The most original, amazing.
Darius Kapazinkas would battle Andris Chipirka in an all-Lithuanian battle. Andris would be the stronger driver of the two, showing a great proximity. He would go further to the top 8.
Hey, yo, I guess the underrated, I'm never the one to say it, but
Local driver Evaldas Kovalenka would battle hard-charging Latvian driver Jānis Eglīte. Eglīte would lay down amazing runs, both leading and chasing, giving him the win, moving him on to the Grade 8. Another all-Lithuanian hometown battle with Timas Siminiskas against Povilas Lencevičius. Timas would throw huge angle in turn 2, causing Povilas to end up in the wall. Timas would take a huge advantage, and even a great run from Povilas in run 2 was not enough to give him the win. Another great battle would be the Estonian Express Valdma against James Dean, the Machine. Dean would have an amazing chase run, really pushing the young Estonian driver even up to the last corner. It was door-to-door, giving Dean a huge advantage and the win, setting him through to the Grade 8. Latvian driver Ingus Jakobsen would battle Swedish champion Fredrik Sjödin. Both drivers showed great speed and proximity, but Fredrik would push a bit too hard in the final bend, colliding into Ingus, losing his flow. That would cost him the battle and give Ingus the way to the Grade 8. Next up was Vladimir Marchenko versus Nigel Colfer. Marchenko barely made it after his crash in the top 32. He would carry too much speed, spinning out in the final bend, giving Colfer a good advantage. In run 2, Colfer would have a textbook lead run, giving him the win and the path to the Grade 8. Another upset would be David Karkošik against Christian Clements. Karkošik would have a great lead run in the first run, but in run 2 would have a major issue, giving Christian the win. The Grade 8 battles are already shaping up to have some titanic moments, with 2 local drivers still in the mix. Piotrek Więcek would prove to be way too fast for the local driver Andrius and easily take the win, sending him through to the final 4. Jānis Eglīte would battle Timas Siminiskas. Timas would have a big off in turn 2, hitting the wall, which would end his day, giving Eglīte the win, sending him to the final 4. I'm never the one to play with. I put words together clever, may never become your favorite. In my head I feel I'm better than everyone that made it, cause I run the stage. Ingus Jakobsen would face James Dean in a championship deciding battle. The Falcon Motorsports S14 would show no fear and prove his motivation towards the championship. Jakobsen would scrub way too much speed, correcting, causing Dean to collide into him. In the final Grade 8 battle, Nigel Colfer would go against Christian Clements. Colfer would seem to have turned up the heat and would chase Christian really closely, giving him an advantage. When leading, Nigel would again show great pace in his Nissan S13 and pull away from Christian at turn 2. The final 4 would consist of the best in the business. The first semi-final is an all-Irish battle between James Dean and Nigel Colfer. Even though James has secured the championship, he is still on the top of his game.
Four drivers leads. James Dean attacks.
A great lead run would be followed by one of the best chase runs of the day, ensuring James a huge advantage and progress onto his 3rd final of the season.
Ain't from the hood, but I always understood hood rules. To run the town, you gotta have soul and wear good shoes. I transmit through the bandwidth.
In the second semifinal, Piotrek Więcek would battle Jānis Eglīte. A fast lead run from Więcek with huge angles would give him a slight advantage. But in the second run, Jānis would push harder than ever in the lead.
So close. This last one will decide all.
Wieniec would show no fear and stick to Giannis's door. With such commitment, he was rewarded the win, sending him to go and face James Dean in the final battle of the year.
Wieniec is so close. This hairpin will decide all.
There you have it, folks. The Irish champion James Dean versus Piotr Wieniec representing Poland. In the third battle, Nigel would lead against Giannis. An awesome lead run from Nigel would show the judges that he found some speed in the second half of the season, and this gave him the needed advantage over Eglitech.
Critically acclaimed, sleep in the snow, dance in the rain, swim through the flames, untouched I remain. Abnormal brain, make me numb to the pain.
In the second run, Nigel Colfer would chase very hard over the first two bends, but in the third, Eglitech couldn't handle the pressure and spun, giving Colfer the win and the third place overall.
It's actually having to slow down a bit for Eglitech. Whoa, here we go! There we have it.
And here we go, the final that we've all been waiting for all season. The top two ranked drivers to face off against each other in the final battle of the year. James Dean has already claimed the championship, but will he stay calm under pressure and finish strong? Wieniec would give the strongest run of the year, but James was glued to Piotr from turn 1 to the finish line, taking the advantage. Run 2, James Dean would lead the final run of the season against Piotr. Dean would throw down the fastest wall-to-wall run and have Wieniec bobble in turn 2, losing some proximity to Dean. After two amazing runs, James Dean takes the win at the Lithuanian Drift GP of the finals.
What's your life like?
Good, but it's still a grind.
What's your crew like?
I deal with the realest kind, and right now it's Achilles.
James, congratulations, massive congratulations. I know if you look back to the season, it wasn't handed to you, was it? It wasn't easy. You had a few, problems along the way, but I mean, it must be such a great feeling as well, just to finally get another title under your belt.
It's amazing. Leading into this year, I didn't know what to expect. I really wanted to fight for a top 3 in the championship. Consistent results and some good finishes and qualifyings, and today I just pushed as hard as possible, and it all worked out, and I can't believe I'm 2014 European champion. It's just an amazing feeling.
You just can't write it. I mean, the final battle of the day, you and Wieniec. Just talk us through what happened that last run, because I think Wieniec had a little problem along the way. He just couldn't quite stick with you.
In my chase run, I pushed as hard as possible. Like, there was no pressure on me in the final, and the crowd were just really into it. Chased him really hard. We were almost touching around the bottom corner, and I think he lost me throughout the second clip. I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, we pulled a bit of an advantage there, so managed to win the event, and it's just the perfect end to the season.
I would usually ask at this stage, tell us, at the end of the year, what's the highlight of your 2014 season? But I'm kind of guessing today's up there with the best moments of the year.
Without a doubt, today is by far the best moment of the event. So thanks to all my supporters in Ireland. There's been huge support on Facebook, and my phone is hopping, so oh, what a day.
I'll leave you to take the calls. Congratulations, James.
Thank you so much.
There you have it, folks. What an end to the 2014 Extreme Drift All-Stars European season. We couldn't have asked for a better ending to the finale, and yes, James Dean from Ireland is our 2014 champion. Piotr Wieniec in second, and his teammate Dawid Karkoszek in third. Poland should be absolutely ecstatic. We're very excited for 2015, as it's just around the corner. On next week's episode, we'll be releasing information on what's planned for 2015, go over the 2014 season with interviews from your favorite drivers, as well as this year's champ, James Dean. So make sure you join us for next week's season finale, the final episode of Drift All-Stars TV.